I've just ordered floor pan, outer sill, front and rear floor pan, and a metal plug which goes with the floor pan for the passenger side, and it has cost me almost as much as the car. So wow, this is going to add up quite quickly. So I have been doing some work on the front. A few more patches have gone in. First of all, here, here, and here. This patch ended up with me chasing. I mean, it was a tiny hole here, covered up lots of room, and then I've managed to come across another one here. So we'll sort that, and we'll sort out this little hole back here. What I'm trying to do is go through the easy bits first. I'm going to clearly have to take this out because of all the holes around here. So around here. So, and I've also going to have to deal with this at some point. So this is very rusty along the edge here when you get underneath. So this is all going to have to come out, and I need to make sure I get the seatbelt anchor back in exactly the right place. So that's what we're doing, is we're just working through it slowly at the moment, trying to pick off the easy bits. I am wondering if I should have just gone for new floor pans here as well, to be honest, because I am chasing holes in some places. But I'm going to keep going as I go for now, because I can always change my mind later, and I shall continue tackling the easier bits first. Right, so I've been worrying about how to deal with these and the fact that they're whether they were structural or what. And what I've been advised on TR Register is to come at this from below, and that's interesting though. So to come at this from below, and I should be able to take them out, you know, cut them out from below and then weld in a new one from underneath. Now the thing is, looking at this, is that actually, yeah, I can feel it. This here, this is directly below that, and so something has got to give. Bloody hell. So maybe this has to come out. Oh. Right, so it's Wednesday 21st, I think, something like that, April. And so we've been out for a couple of hours and we've done a couple of patches. So we did two here, one to get the curve in, then the flat bit, and then we'll do another patch coming down and under. So this curve, we might be able to do the two together. So I'll end up cutting across this weld here and just cutting and doing it. So that's how I did this as well. It actually came down to about halfway and then I just cut it out. So I'll do the same again there. And we've also put in a patch here from underneath, so this is solid. Now what I'm getting worried about, and it's really the next bit I have to do on this side, although I might get my parts in the next couple of days to do the other side, is at some point I'm going to have to take this out in order to get underneath, and I've been trying to work out if you can just do it from underneath, but this sits here on top, and then down below we have this bit. Okay, so one has to give way, and I don't know the right way to do it. Now this also is worrying me a little bit. The other side is good, but this is quite rough. So I'm going to have to work out how to deal with this anyway. And I think the solution is that what I'll have to do is at the top, going back up, so up here, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to weld in a supporting bar across here and possibly to the back here as well. That would then enable me to take that out, okay, and I would then be able to fix all of this, and at that point I'd have complete access to the other bit. So I think that's the way I'm going to have to do it, and I would rather fix the other side before I try to do that. So I'm trying to just, you know, do the little patches that I can do prior to putting the car back on the ground and having a go at that. Right, so in there should be my panels that I've ordered, and then here we have the bars that I picked up yesterday. So I've got 6 which are 2 meters 4x4 box sections with 2 or 3 mil thickness, so that should be strong enough to base it. I've got those. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the car back down on the ground. We're going to measure the wheelbase, and I've done a quick measurement with the car up and it looks right. So we're going to put the car back down, we're going to measure the wheelbase, and I'm looking for 218 centimetres as a wheelbase, and we'll do it on both sides. And then because I don't really have a way of, I don't know what the heights are meant to be, I'm going to measure to the top of here as a measurement on both sides and see if they're the same. And I guess we'll go for the top of the sill as well to make sure they're both the same. And I'm going to use that to get my assessment of whether or not I've got it all square. And I hope that will be enough. So we will start by slowly lowering the car. Now it took me over an hour and a half to raise the car this high, so I'm not going to bother videoing that. I'll very slowly take it back down again, and then we'll come back and have a look. Right, so we got it back on the ground. What I've done is I've tape my tape measure just there to try to hold it in place. I'm running it along to here, as you can see. And when I come here, so it's at 218, and that looks right to me. Now, I know there's a little bit of bend in this, but if I've got the same kind of measurement and bend on the other side, then I'm happy. So let's have a look. Okay, I think that's the same. So that would imply we're good there. Now we're going to go for a measurement to the top of the door. So if we go for a measurement here to the top of the sill, we're at 40 centimetres exactly. So let's look on the other side. So we did this measurement here. Do it like that. Huh. Now this seems to be a bit higher. Let's try the other side again. because this structure is so much better on this side, I'm struggling to be certain I'm measuring the same place. So I think I might have a 2, maybe 1 millimetre difference in height. Now that could be, I guess, tyre pressure, or it could be suspension. So what we'll do is we'll fit the doors, we'll look for gaps, and we'll think about it from there. Right, so I've got the door back in place, so now I can work out how to brace it properly. And I'm going to want to brace it across the doors. So I'm going to want to come from here across to there, which means I'm going to have to take the dash out. So that's the next thing to do. And I'll have to do the same on the other side. Is take that dash out. Okay, and then I'll need to take the trim off that door and the surround. So I need to brace it across here, and then what I think I might, I'm not sure about how to do it at the bottom. This is clearly quite, this side here is okay. That side I think I need to brace across the bottom as well, possibly. We'll have a look when we get over there. And then I'm thinking a cross brace across it, maybe one each way, to hold that rigidity. And I'm not sure what else I'll need to do around that. So next step is I'm going to actually look to work out how I take out all of the dash, so that I can get in and start doing bracing work. Right, we're going to start taking out the fascia at the front. Managed to work out what a couple of these bits are. This of course is for the steering wheel. This is broken, so I need to buy new. Okay, Saturday the 24th of April. I have one screw just in there that is really rusted in, I can't get out, and the dash doesn't come out without it, because that is actually connected up to the instrument panel as well, so or to a bracket to it, so I've got to get that out somehow. So it's been soaking overnight, and we'll have another go at turning it now, and I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't come. I also have, with my list of parts and my broken bits, I discovered how lucky I was with the MGB, where you can basically get everything. So these plastic parts are no longer available. And you can get second-hand ones maybe if someone is selling a second-hand one, but a couple of the images of the second-hand ones aren't any better than what I've got here. So we're going to have to come up with a different approach, and I don't know what that will be, but we're going to have to do something. My thought is to try gluing. I know glue isn't great on this stuff, but we will get some epoxy glue and see if that will work. And then maybe for those bits that are actually in sight, so things like this, even glued it won't look great. But I was thinking that what I might try doing is then covering it with vinyl, so that hopefully would give it a little bit more support. Getting the vinyl to look nice might not be easy, but hopefully that would give it a little bit more support at that point, you know, and strength, and from there, and would look nicer, to be honest, probably. But I haven't really decided yet. First thing will be to still get it all out, and so that's what's next. Really struggling to, well, I haven't been able to release that screw, so we're going to try disconnecting everything else and see if we can work our way around to bring both panels out together. So I've disconnected the instrument panel in the middle there. I need to disconnect some of the main instrument panel items, and then we'll see if it will withdraw at that point. Right, I had been struggling with the speedo cable, couldn't get that off. I found the trick with that, and it seems to be loose now. I've still got a couple of wiring harness, I think, connections in there, which I'm going to have to free up, but that should now come out, so we'll have a look in a few minutes. Right, we've got it off and out of the car. So in terms of the damage that there is on it, this cover piece, it should have bits out here that it can screw into, which are missing, and it looks like actually it should have along here as well for these to come in, so that will fit in there, but you've then got no way of securing it right now. So we've got that. We've got this little bit that goes in there and is broken, but the rest of it all looks okay. I still haven't managed to get this screw out from back here, but certainly the instrument panel, the glass is broken, and I think so the fascia maybe is okay, but then this back bit that all the instruments are in seems to be broken, and I don't know that those pieces are about anywhere. I think they were broken before they came here, so we're going to have a bit of an issue around that. Then we've got this from the driver door, where you pull the handle to unlock it. This is broken, and then this is from the steering wheel cover. So yeah, I was having a little bit more of a think about this, and we're going to try gluing, and then what I thought I might try actually is plastic paint over it, and see if we can, we could use a bit of filler maybe over some of the cracks, and then plastic paint, maybe fiberglass filler behind it, in order to try to give it a bit of strength. Is the thought, but if anyone's got experience and has ideas, I would love to hear them. I've just noticed here a screw that I've missed, so probably anyway, so we've done that over in the car. Excuse me. So over in the car we have labelled what was connected. So these were going to the volts and fuels. This I didn't label on the basis that it only fits one place. Same here. And we got 1 and 2 in terms of going in where they go. I'm interested by all of these, and I don't know if that's standard or if that's that this car has been rewired. I can't believe the harness came like that from factory though. I find it surprising if it did. And then I've got a bunch of things which just weren't connected anywhere, and so I don't know where they go. I didn't like the sound of that. That was the door swinging shut on the other side. I do have somewhere here, here, there. So this is clearly where the ignition goes in, because we can see the ignition cables here. So they got cut at some point. Okay, so I need to think about what I'm going to do next in terms of do I clean this up here and start welding some structure across it, or do I do a bit more clearing out in this engine bay, in this dashboard area first? And I think part of me thinks getting the spacing in is probably the most important bit. So I might just tidy up a little bit to give myself a bit more room to work with, and then do it, or I might do it first. Or what I might do is I might clean the stuff that I've taken out and put back together so that I have all of the screws and stuff in the right place, to make it easier to remember going forward. So yeah, decisions. Oh, this is you know, recognising I've never done this before, it's really daunting. Okay, especially when, you know, stuff isn't actually there. So I thought, whilst I was just pottering and deciding what to do next, I'd empty out the trunk, the boot, and we've got things like the boot cover, the wheel cover in there. We've got this bit here, which is presumably driver footwell on the side. And we've got some seat belts just here, an old jack, and I don't know, a couple of these plastic pieces. I'm not sure where they go, so we'll have to work around that, but we won't lose any of that plastic stuff. We have a wheel, which you can guess what's in there if you look at that wheel, but it's nicely warped, and the state of that. And then inside, and I haven't checked before, we have a lot of water. So actually what we're going to do now, before we do anything else, is we're going to start soaking that up, get that dried. Yeah. So that's the next step, because I don't want it just continuing to rust through. So we'll get that dry before we go on to anything else.